Welcome to Flourish. I'm Diane, Planidin, and you're in the right place if you're ready to create an inspired life. And we do so by working on our own personal development so we can be strong role models for those we love and mentor. Today is a special day for me. I am continuing my research for my new book, and part of it is going back to school. Yes, I was reading so many scientific papers and doing so much research so I could have something in the book that actually was proven for my methodologies in raising my son, and it turned into a big can of worms. And it turned into a big time suck. Yes, it was a vortex of time. And it was, I would read one paper and it would send me to another paper, to another paper, to another paper. And I thought, hold the phone. There's got to be a better way to do this. So in order to manage my research time better, I decided to sign up for a university course on psychology. Yes, so you are now looking at a student for Queen's University, and I'm taking Psych 100. And my goodness, talk about a vortex of research papers. It's a 12-week intense course online, and there's no physical book. So I thought, oh, for all you online learners out there, what are you doing? How does this happen? How does this work? When you have little seminars online and little links online, but there's a lot of reading and a lot of self-absorption, especially for an online course. And that's going to help me too, because part of my book is going to have an online course for people to take down the road as well. So this has been invaluable in a dual way. I'm really enjoying it, and trying to find out time. To carve out time to do this extra work has been a little bit of a challenge for me, especially because all the materials online, and it's open courseware. It's, the whole world can see the book material that I'm reading as part of my research and all the links to the scientific papers. So it's been really, really a good journey for me. Now, the funny thing is, and if you've been with the show for a while, cognitively we learn better with paper. We can feel it, we can smell it, we can embrace it, we can highlight it, we can take notes, we can dog ear, we can do all these things. Online learning, though, there's nothing to touch. There's everything read on a screen. And I have enough screen time in my life, so I really didn't want to add a huge screen component to this course. So I went over to Staples. Staples in Canada is, a place you can go print a lot of paper. And let me see if I can lift it. If you're watching this on YouTube, that's the book. Yeah, do you see it? That's insane. I mean, it wasn't actually too bad to print. I have to say, I got all those pages for about $140 at Staples, double-sided, etc. But less than your typical university textbook, right? And if I would have seen that to start, I don't think I would have ever found time for this course. It was just like, are you kidding me? But the next thing I did, because it's an online course, and I printed out the paper so I could highlight it, refer back to it, back and forth, is I got a smaller binder which would hold the course material for the week. So again, at Staples, you can just pick up a little binder, or a dollar store, wherever you shop, and break it down. This big chunk of a book has now been broken down into smaller sections in my little weekly binder. So I really wanted to share these tips with you, because I thought 400 people are taking this course online right now, virtually. How does that work? How many people actually stick with it? How many people actually pass the course? There's this one girl in this class. I don't know how I happened upon her message, because you can imagine the bulletin boards are really quite busy. It's the third time she's taken it. And I thought, what? You've taken this course 3 times? So if you're listening, I think you might want to write down some of these notes on how to, maybe print out the paper, etc. That would be good. So grab some. It's almost comical how big this book is. That's why it can't be intimidating. That's why you have to break it down in quadrants. That's why when you look at what week 1 entails, and it's reading 8 chapters, put it in a little book, break it down. A lot of the pages are reference materials, links, questions that are online, so it's not as big as it seems. And the other thing I did, and in this course, they actually have some nice links for ideas on if you are an online learner and you really like everything electronically. Well, there's, virtual flashcards you can create. There's the, different reminders. There's lots of apps for different things, but we're talking about me and my need for cognitive digestion. I really need to absorb it. I need that paper. So I have a little notebook and I write down my notes. Every time you repeat something, every time you make a note about something, you learn something a little bit more. And you may or may not go back to your notes, but it's there. It's digesting. And I've had to learn some new words. Now that is where flashcards, or for me, index cards, have come in handy. Because one of the first words I came across was the empirical method. I'm like, okay, empirical? What does that mean? Empirical? Am I pronouncing this right? It's simply a way of measuring. It's using your scientific method and being able to measure results. I kind of like measure results versus empirical, but that's just me. So I have a paper book and I highlight and I take notes. I have a paper notebook and I have paper index cards, and I keep each week's reading in a smaller binder so that it's not so overwhelming. And that way I can do the interactive part online a lot easier, because if I'm reading it online and then I'm answering questions online, I have nothing to reference back to. So I'd be back and forth screens, and I can't do that. That is far too distracting. So for today's episode, I thought, so many people, one of my most popular shows is all about time management and managing your own time and really paying attention. Are you expanding time? Are you condensing time? Because if you give yourself a week to read the material, you will take a week. But if you give yourself 1 day per chapter, or 1 day for 3 chapters, set up your timeline that way by working backwards in time so you know how much you need to navigate, it's far more effective. Because I can expand time with the best of them. If I don't have to be somewhere until 10, well, jeepers creepers, I can take hours to get ready, or I can take 20 minutes to get ready and get going, right? It's just as simple as that. And one of the things that it talks about, even chapter 1 of this course, is the Pomodor Technique, which again is a time technique to time yourself, how long things really take. I'll give you 2 examples. One is, a lot of people who eat out think they save time because they don't have to do the preparation, they don't have to do the cooking, they get to enjoy a time out, etc. But you also have to drive, you have to wait to be served, etc. Then you have to drive home again. Time yourself doing the dishes. I bet you if you have a dishwasher, it's not going to take you more than 10 minutes. You think, holy moly, that's amazing. But the other thing that you may want to play with is how fast you read and take notes per pages. So say, for example, one of these chapters is 20 pages. How long does that take me to read? Well, you know what? Sometimes it takes me half an hour. Sometimes it takes me more than an hour. And I thought, why is that? Same number of pages, but why? So I went back and I went, oh, well, I know why. Because I'm reading and I'm taking notes and I'm highlighting and I'm making a flashcard or an index card. I'm writing in my book. I am going back. I'm looking up definitions because I didn't know what the empirical method was. And I don't know if the average university in this first year course would say, hey, everybody must know what that is. But could be part of weeding out the students that are serious about being there. Now, having said that, do not let this intimidate you. Remember, baby steps, bite one step at a time, take one step at a time. You fall down, you get back up. You fall down, you get back up. You just keep getting back up because you deserve to be doing the course that you paid for. You deserve education as much as anyone else, and you deserve to lift your spirits, to increase your knowledge. Well, knowledge is the enemy of learning, but that's a whole other topic. But to really immerse yourself, because you deserve to live a more inspired life. If you like the show, share it with someone you know, and we would love it if you could subscribe to our channel. We really want to build our community to help each other live a more inspired life.